Hello, Rufus Church. It's me, Pedro Silva, giving you a shout out from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm on my way to a graduation in Tucson, and being here brings back memories. I actually lived here about 3 years ago, and if you've been following the blog for some time, you might be familiar with the postings that I did. There's about 3 or 4 postings called Road Trip with DMX and 23 Bottles of Water, or Road Trip with God, DMX, and 23 Bottles of Water. Um, do a search on it if you want to learn anything about it. I will say that I didn't actually ride with DMX, but I was listening to DMX on the ride, and during that time, I had this real epiphany because at that time I was having like a dark night of the soul. I was driving back from Michigan, seeing my former wife for the last time, and I was driving back. I was mad at God for how life was going, and I had basically, short story, I tried to pay God back by not believing in God. So I'm sitting there and I'm driving and I'm like, man, no, I tried to live like this, that, and the other thing. And it was the first time I realized that I was not worshiping God like I thought. I was actually worshiping my beliefs about God and my thoughts about God. And I was aiming my consciousness and my awareness at my thoughts about God. But our thoughts about God and our beliefs about God are not God. God belongs beyond our thoughts and beyond our beliefs. And on that road trip, that hit me hard. And after that, I was just like, there was no going back because I started hearing in my head that I should pray, right? And I started thinking, oh man, I'm going cuckoo. And I refused to pray initially, and I was listening to DMX. I'm like, whatever. And I'm tripping and everything. And then I kept hearing pray, pray, pray. So I basically said, I'm not praying because I don't believe in you anymore. And then immediately after that, I heard, well, if you don't believe in me, who are you mad at? And I was like, you know what I mean? Mouth wide open, logic. I couldn't even mess with that logic. I was like, this is true. And the thought after that was either you believe in me and then you got to follow through on that, or you're mad at yourself. So being a human being and having an ego and wanting to blame somebody, I said, okay, yeah, I believe in you, because then that way I can stay mad at you. That was pretty much it. So I just proceeded to believe, which in discussing this thing with God within myself, I ended up having to acknowledge the presence of God. And then after that, I just said, you know what? I'm either going to believe in God absolutely or not at all, because I can't play this game. I can't be like, once I became conscious that my thoughts and my beliefs about God weren't God, I had to let go of a lot of things, and dump a lot of things. So I did, and I'm grateful to that. So after that time, that was my frame of reference. Like God was absolute, and no way out of it, and I was gonna have to figure out some way of allowing myself to get undone so that God could create me or help me to see how God created me. So I'm still in that process. So anyway, fast forward 2004, I'm getting out of the military. I still got these two contexts of, 'cause, say you can't serve two masters. So I'm dealing with these contexts, and inside of my mind somewhere, I had this realization that everything that I see in the world lives within myself. So if I see something good, there's some good in me. If I see something bad, there's something bad in me. And I came up with this idea of, in humanity, you have the options to be a man, a monster, or a miracle. Or if you're a female, then a woman, a monster, or a miracle. But the three M's for alliteration, man, monster, miracle, kind of just sounds cool. So anyway, I looked at myself and I said, okay, what is a man? What's a monster? What's a miracle? A man or woman is someone who realizes who they are. They come to kind of like a self-realization. The monster is a person who comes to self-realization and then takes advantage of others who have not come to that realization. So they kind of know what's motivating and inspiring people, and then they use that to manipulate people and get them to do what they want them to do. And then a miracle is someone who comes to this self-realization and then tries to share with other people so that they too can become aware. An imagery I could give you is a person whose candle has been lit, and they use their candle to light other candles. where somebody else might say, let me take my candle, go into the darkness and take what I got to take and get what I got to get, and I ain't lighting anybody's candle. I hope that metaphor works for you. So anyway, 2004, I'm trying to kind of put this stuff into words, trying to write this book. And I ended up coming with this book called It's All in Me. If you're interested in the book, look on the left side of the blog. You'll see a little tab or link that says It's All in Me. It'll take you to a site. You can buy the book. It's basically written in 3 parts, mind, body, soul. And it's basically a poetic journey or a poetic evolution of thought from the idea that we are what the world says we are. So the first poem says something like, I'm the man that society made. I had no choice in me. Your anger, your love, your joy, your frustrations are all that I can be. I'm a man without a voice. All I say is what I need or what you need. Never able to speak for me until all of us are free. And then the other one, basically the last poem in the book, besides the prayer that's at the end of the book, the last poem basically says that we're part of this infinite story, and it's basically God's story. And we are living within God's story, like Acts 17 says, in God we live and move and have our being. So anyway, enough about the book. I bring all of that up because being in Arizona is bringing all these things to my mind. And then finally, I'm actually working on another book right now called We Is. And my mom might choke me because she'll say that's incorrect grammar, but there's a meaning behind it I'm not going to get into. But the short story of it is when my dad was basically about to pass away, I decided to interview him and ask him some questions about, some of the things he was feeling. And out of it, my dad started talking, and it was like completely inspired. If you ever listen to the audios I've ever posted or something like that, you'll see where I'm coming from. But essentially, he talked about how all pain and suffering and things of that nature that occur in life become from a result of people seeing themselves as individuals and desiring to be part of something more, to become a we. And so whenever we get into relationships and we hold on to them, it's because we just don't want to feel like we're alone. And the book, besides being transcriptions from the tapes and some conversations that I had with my dad and some other commentary there, but the essence of it is the realization that we are all in relationship. There's no way out of it. We all trick ourselves into believing that we're these separate individuals, that we can do something and it doesn't affect anybody else, and I'm my own person. And then there's an element to that wherein you are your own expression of life, or you are an expression of life, God-given, and you are, just like anything else in creation, I think destined to live out the fulfillment of your being. However, that being is existing in context and in relationship with all of the beings, with all life. We're all part of one life. There's no way out of it. And you could try to tell yourself that it's otherwise. It's not. You're wrong. I don't go around telling people you're wrong that much, but if you think that you exist outside of relationship, you're wrong. Just forget it. You ain't got to believe in God. You ain't got to believe in the hereafter. You don't have to believe in anything. But all I'm saying is, if you had some parents, which I'm sure if you're here you have parents, then you ain't by yourself. Even if your parents don't like you, they don't talk to you, you don't know who they are, it doesn't matter. You got here somehow. It was through beings. So you automatically connected. And no matter what you do, no matter how insignificant you think your life is, or how significant you think your life is, it's always affecting other lives. It's always in context of other lives. So the book is going to go towards that, and the book is about hope. It's about the hope of knowing who you are in the we, who we are, and also, I guess, being the highest we, as my dad called it, the highest relationship we can have, which is us and God. So I'm going to be putting this book together over the next however long it takes for me to do it. I'm putting it out there now. I hope that you guys contribute by posting on the blog or whatever. And anyway, love you. Be a we. And I will hopefully see you soon. Woo!